Well, it's been a few weeks since we have added a new tutorial here at ediustips.com. I've been off on some shoots, just back into my studio now, and so the tutorial should start rolling more regularly now in version 6. We might also add a few more from version 5. Many editors have chosen not to upgrade to version 6 and are still asking questions about 5.5, and so we may continue actually adding more material for version 5.5. But for those of you who have upgraded or just purchased Edius 6.0 and are struggling with some issues and questions, and what I think I've decided to do is prepare these tutorials in the order that I'm getting most of the questions for. People send me emails asking specific questions, asking for specific tutorials on 6.0. And so rather than the tutorials in version 6 following in kind of a regular order like they have in version 5, we're just going to make the tutorials based on the questions and emails that are coming in so that we can address those issues that seem to be the most troublesome the quickest, and eventually we'll get around to covering almost everything that you would want to know about Edius 6.0, but we're just going to do it more in a kind of a random order based on the questions that have come in. And you may notice that we now have a version number at the bottom of our titles, and that will give you an indication of when the tutorial was made, at what point version 6 was at. Things change, bugs are fixed, and new features are added, and some things get changed. And so if, as you follow along in the tutorials, something isn't quite working the way you're seeing it happen on the tutorial, it could be that you're now at version 6.5 and things have changed between 6.02 and 6.5, and some things just might not work the same. So just keep that in mind as you start a tutorial. Kind of check what version we're at as we're doing it, and that may explain some discrepancies. Okay, so if you have worked with media at all, you have probably come across a situation where you've started up a program that you've been working on, and you discover that your media is no longer online or being referenced by your program. You are pretty sure, you look down, you see that your hard drives are plugged in, and yet when you open your program, you find something like this, where some of your clips are there as you scroll through your timeline, but you see that as you look at your bin and as you scroll along your timeline, you see that most of the media is missing, and shows you just these black and white squares in your record output monitor. You have some audio there, a few of the titles and graphics, but for the most part, all of your media is missing. And this can be a little bit frustrating and confusing to a new Edius user. You've maybe spent days, weeks, months on a program, and then open up your project one day to find it looking something like this. You might feel a little like little Bo Peep who's lost her sheep and doesn't know where to find them. Well, there are several things that could have happened to cause this type of scenario. The worst thing that could have happened is that your hard drive has gone down. It just has died on you. In that case, you're going to have to rebuild your media. But that's the worst case scenario. What is more likely to have happened is that your hard drive is no longer connected to your computer, or it was disconnected from your computer, and when it was reconnected, your computer assigned it a different hard drive letter. So what was once a F drive is now an S drive, and so as Edius tries to find the media on the F drive, it's no longer there. Either F is missing or it's been assigned to a different drive, and as it looks on that drive, it just can't find the media. So all you really need to do is point Edius to where the media is now in your project. And you may ask, well, how do I do that? How can I point Edius to where my media is now stored? Well, in version 5, if you opened a program like this where some of the media was offline, you got an instant dialog box that asked you to, do you want to try and find your media? Version 6 doesn't seem to have that dialog box, and So what we need to do is activate that dialog box, and I'm sure it's probably found in several different places under menu options, but I've found one reference to it here on the timeline window under Open Project. So go to the icon that is for Open Project and slide on over to the down arrow and press on it, and you'll see that one of your options there is Restore Offline Clip. Well, in our case, it's going to be Restore Offline Clips, and that is usually the case. So click on that, and you will get a dialog box that pops up, and you have a number of options. You can capture the missing clip or clips, and a number of other options there. The one that we're really looking for is Open the Clip Restoration dialog. Okay, and once this opens up, we can drag the bottom corner here and open it up so we can see a little bit more what we're doing. Now, as we open this up, we see that Edius, at first, it looks like it's only missing a few clips here, but yet as we look at our timeline, we see that there's hundreds of clips that are offline. What's going on? Well, in version 5, if you're used to working with this dialog box in version 5, it has changed a little bit in version 6. And what you have to do is go up to the top right-hand corner here and select one of these options that you want to work with. If you know your program is finished and all you want to do is just find those clips that are on your timeline, what you could do is just use the current timeline sequence. If you want to find and restore all of the clips that may be on several sequences in your program, go ahead and choose All Timeline Sequence. If you know that you're still working on your program and you still want to be able to access media from your bin, then you're going to want to choose this option here, All Timeline Sequence and Bin. Okay, so as we click on that, indeed we are now showing the hundreds of clips that are offline. Let's maybe stretch out these fields a little bit so that we can have a better idea of what we're missing and what we need to recover, restore. Now, what I usually like to do is click on the Lost File field so that all of our clips line up alphabetically so that we can find them in order of the hard drive. So now as we scroll through the list, we see that all of the missing files that were on drive T are all together, and all of the missing media that was on drive M is now all listed together. And now as we try and locate where the drive is now, what letter it's currently at, we can do it all at once. So now we can click on the first missing media that was on a drive that had the assignment of V, and go down to the bottom one, and with our shift key held down, click on the bottom one, and then we now have all of the missing media that was on a drive V selected. And now we can click on the little down arrow that shows up at the last clip that we selected, and now what we want to do is relink select folder. Now if we can find the drive on our computer that was V and is something else, then we just have to select that one drive, and Edius will go in and find all the media that was once on that drive. Now, if you're working on a project like what we have here, where you have referenced media from many different hard drives, external hard drives that you've plugged into your computer, you may not want to take the time to go through each hard drive looking for a folder called Asia Video, for example, in this case. So one way that you can do it is use the search tool of Windows. I have Windows 7, and so my search tool is here. So what I can do now is just type in Asia Video, choose See More Results, and then choose Computer, and then let Windows go through your hard drives looking for a folder called Asia Video. And once it finds it, then you'll know what hard drive to point Edius to. Okay, we see we have a folder called Asia Video in the K drive. Let's just minimize this and go and look for K. And as we open it up, we can confirm that that is the drive that probably has the media that we're looking for this spread of lost media. So let's go ahead and just hit OK. We've selected the hard drive K. Let's just go ahead and hit OK and see what happens. And as Edius finds the media, you can see it indicates that hard drives are being accessed, media is being found, which is a good sign. And once it's found the media, you'll see that it shows up here under Restore File field as now being restored. Okay, but let's just maybe do this for a few more drives as an example of how to find your lost clips. Let's select this whole area here that used to be on the U drive, go over to our little down arrow and try and find that drive. What we could do, rather than use our search tool of Windows, is to start going down through the hard drives that are connected to the computer. If you know that you haven't put any of your media on C, you can skip that. Let's go to the next drive, the D drive, and look for the folders that are missing. We see that we have a folder here called Adra Canada 2008, but we're looking for Adra Canada 2009, and so it's not likely on that drive. And we can keep going down the list. Not under F. And we know we just worked with K. We found the media that was on that, and so we can skip that one, go down to the next one, L, open that up. And here we do see that we have a folder called Adra Canada 2009. So it's possible that it's this one, unless we have duplicated that folder on another drive. Let's give it a try and see if it finds all the media. So what we can do is just go up to the actual drive letter designation itself, select it and hit OK and see if it finds all of the media. If you're more organized than I am and have all of your media on one hard drive for any given project, you probably won't run into a problem like this because everything that you need will be on that one drive. However, for me, I may have media spread out over a number of different drives, and as I work on a project, I might be accessing media that I've shot over the last 10 years, and it may not always be easy to have that brought over to one drive, and so I often end up with messes like this. And if you're like me, you might find that you're in this problem once in a while as well. So here we are. We did happen to find all of those missing media happened to be on that drive that we found, the L drive, and so we can move on. If Edius cannot find all of the media that's missing, it will let you know, and we'll probably have an example of that coming up here. Let's try and find what used to be on the T drive. And so holding the Shift key down, we select the last one, it selects them all, we go over to our down arrow, and we try and find that hard drive. For this one, I think I'm going to use my search tool. Because I know that I may have a folder called ASAP files on maybe 4 or 5 different drives, I'm going to type in the string 2010 statements. And if you're like me and spelling is not your strong point, you want to just make sure that you are searching for the same term that you actually typed in. And in this case, I misspelled that, and so it's STAMENTS. And so let's look for that. And looks like it's showing up here. And Windows seems to indicate that the files that we are looking for are on the F drive. So let's give that a try. Let's minimize this. Go to our F drive and hit OK. And see if Edius finds all that missing media. And in this case, Edius pops up with a little warning that it failed to restore one clip. And this can happen, perhaps you have deleted 1 or 2 files from the list since the last time you worked on the program. And so even though you have deleted it from your hard drive, your program still believes that it should be there, and so when it looked for it, it just couldn't find it, and it's just letting you know. And if it turns out that particular media clip is an important file in your program and it's still missing, you may have to do some more sleuth work to find that file, or actually recapture it or restore it somehow so that you can finish off your project. Now, you get the idea of how this works. Finding media that is on drives where the drive letter has been changed. What about those cases where the hard drive just went down? It's dead, and there's all of the media that was on that drive. It's no longer accessible. What do you do then? Well, Edius, through this restore dialog box, allows you to actually do a batch capture. If your media was on tape, it allows you to do a batch capture process. Okay, and one other thing I'd like to point out with this lost media, let's just go ahead and close this dialog box. Hit close again. Edius comes up with a little warning that says, you haven't really restored all of your media. Well, that's okay. We just want to go ahead and point out one more thing here. So let's say you open your project and almost everything is there, but you find that the odd clip is missing. And Edius indicates this by the little black and white squares that show up here. You're missing that little particular clip. Well, rather than go and open up your restore offline clips, what you can do to just find these one or two clips that are missing, there's another one over here, you can just simply double click on the clip itself. And that opens up a dialog box and lets you go through your hard drives in the same way, searching for that clip. And again, you might want to use the search tool of Windows 7 and help you find the missing clip. If you want to know the name of the missing clip, it shows up here, the file name. Even though it's offline, Edius remembers the file name itself. And you can see that in a couple different ways. You could expand your timeline and see that it shows up there. Even though it's offline, we know that we're looking for tape 0709 0032. But also, as you double click on it, you'll see that the file name is here. And so if you're looking for that particular file, you can go down to your search tool, type in that text string, and search for it in the regular way. Search, see more results, click on computer, and then Edius will go after all of the media on your hard drives. And it's found it already. We're looking for, looks like it's actually showing up on several different hard drives. It could be that we've got a couple hard drives here that where I've backed up that particular clip. And so what we can do is check first of all on drive T for that. And if that one doesn't work, then we can go to drive U. Let's try drive T first of all. Let's go back here, and we're looking in tape 07 series, so we'll go to drive T. And if you'd rather see it as a list, like you do in the Windows Explorer, you can go over and change this to details and slide this across so that we can see more of the information and look for our clip. 0709, so there it is there, and now we can just hit open, and Edius likes that, and our clip is back online. Unfortunately, Edius is not set up like some of the Adobe products, Lightroom or After Effects, where if you find one missing piece of media, that it will go and look on that same hard drive under the same folder for any other clips or pieces of media that might be offline, and find those and pop them in at the same time. So for example, this one here, as we double click on it, we see that it's also in that tape 07 series, but Edius did not restore that. And so if you are missing a number of clips from any given folder, it's much better to use the other process where you're capturing or relinking a lot of clips at the same time. All right, I think that does it for finding your lost media. Hopefully this will help you find your lost sheep and get your program back online very quickly.